Let's talk about your why a little bit, because it's not just about getting faster, is it?
No, it's not. I don't think that's actually a byproduct. I think all athletes want to be faster, but as you climb and things happen, if you had asked me 5 years ago, would I ever be on a podium? Would I ever make top 10 of any 70.3? I would have been like, no, hands down. I am not in that league. I'm just going to be consistent, work hard, and see what happens. And I find so much clarity and about who I am when I'm doing sport, and learn so much about life lessons in sport that I then apply in life in so many different ways. And that's really one of the reasons why I do it. Isn't just because I want to be first or third or fifth or whatever. Those kind of things are fleeting moments. For any athlete that's ever achieved something you thought you weren't going to, you get there and it happens and you're like, whoa, that happened. And I don't celebrate well. People that know me would say I don't really say very much about my results as a general rule, because it's just that. It's a moment of, well, that was kind of cool. What's next? What's next? And we always want to be what's next. And at some point in time, you're not going to be any faster.
Yeah.
You might have to pivot and do something different. But for me, I think each one of us are made for something more than what's within ourselves. And one of my biggest purposes is to feel like there's a reason why this sport continues to be in my life. And I continue to dig to find out what the more is. And the more has to be beyond me. Maybe that's me pouring into another individual. Maybe somebody can pick up some positive thing from being around me. But it has to be about more than just what's within myself. It has to be about other people and what they can grow from or maybe learn from through me in the sport. But that's what gets me up going, is that it's still a drive to figure out the more.
And what were the going through this coaching evolution, this building of this coaching relationship in a way, from something that was challenged to something that has progressed, and it's still a work in progress as we talk about it. It always is. But what were your biggest lessons this year? How did you grow this year as an individual out of that experience?
That's a big question.
Yeah, it is.
It's a really big one. Well, I grew in a lot of ways. I think I have learned a lot about kindness, and there is a lot of kindness in sport, more than what other people might think. I feel like we can be competitive and kind, and we can grow. And even if something isn't perfect and isn't exactly what you thought it would be or should be, as we're still working through things, but there's potential there for it to be something more than you've ever thought it was going to be. And I've learned a lot about taking time. It's been really hard to not say fine. And I never thought it would be so hard to tell someone, like, I don't know, it felt okay. Did it feel good? Did it feel bad? I'm like, I've always just been fine. Everything is fine. And just being able to use an adjective other than that to describe how I feel in a day, it's been huge. Feeling, being able to open up in a safe space and grow and see growth on the other side as well. You talk all the time about finding a level of being uncomfortable and simmering in it. And one thing Nancy and I have done is I'm a deep thinker, quite analytical, and I like to have what's a focus point, what's something we can work on mindset this week. And turns out she actually has that component to her.
She does,
more
yep.
than you would know, because she's quite quiet. And finding mindset things that we both have in common and talking about them. And one of them is surrounding that. It's a topic about building a bigger container, and it's about sitting. You reach a point where you feel uncomfortable, and how long can you sit in it? Well, that's also been in conversations. This is uncomfortable. Like,
yeah.
I'm so
I'm enjoying your discomfort.
Okay,
You're simmering.
See how red my neck can turn. But I feel like if one person can find within themselves the courage to speak up in a kind way and know that it's okay to say how you feel, And it's okay when something isn't working. It doesn't mean that the coach is bad or you're being mean or not. It just might not be working, or maybe you just haven't given it enough time to see if it's going to work. And we're working to build bigger containers in lots of different ways.
Fantastic.
And I feel like I've learned a lot about sitting in uncomfortable places this year.